One wheel pill. Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and today I'm back down at Surrey Rolling Road with Esther, my ST170 powered Mk1 Escort. Obviously I'm here with my friend Che, who is my chosen man when it comes to transporting cars, and Esther is in the dyno cell with the very talented TODD. Now I didn't want to start this video until we'd actually made some progress because of all the dramas we had last time, and Chris has just switched the screen over to this graph, which means things are going pretty well. So far max power is 132 bhp at the flywheel, but he hasn't been playing around with it long, so I'm hoping that that number is going to increase quite considerably. While I think of it, I want to send a massive shout out to Matt Thorne from Motorsport Electronics. As I mentioned in a previous video, he actually hooked up to the ME221 ECU that's fitted to Esther and got her running better, so that I was actually able to come back down here to get Chris to map her. One of the guys from Surrey Rolling Road just came down and let Chris know that he actually had the graph set to wheel horsepower rather than flywheel, which is actually making 166 at the flywheel. It's a lot more like it, but I'm still hoping for a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'll just put the camera on the stand in the dyno cell so you can hear Esther at full chat. Hopefully you're going to have a time to play with the exhaust cam timing later, which can give you about 8 to 10 bhp more. But yeah, I'm hoping there's a little bit more in it. Just going to let the engine cool down a bit. So from my understanding, the AFR should be pretty stable across the board, and obviously you can see that it's going up and down, which might hopefully mean that there's definitely scope for more power. Cat's coming down soon with a McDonald's, so I'm looking forward to that. Chris did say that because he's having to play with the screw on the throttle bodies that adjusts the idle speed, basically, when he does that, it then affects the AFR at idle. So then he's having to adjust the screw, then adjust the map, then adjust the screw. So that might be why the very low down RPM AFRs are really sporadic. But I actually don't know what I'm talking about, so that might all be rubbish. Picked up another 4 horsepower. That's the first time that the figure has had a 7 in it. Going in the right direction. I just have a nosy around the workshop, why not? Got this nice Porsche 944 on the ramp. This Subaru Legacy, which has got a race number, plenty of tyres in the back, obviously does some track days, tasty exhaust. And right down the back here, some Chevy, I think, with a V8 in it. Yeah, really nice. Right, so the spring that is on the screw that controls the idle speed is a bit mullered. It's not a spring anymore. Basically, when I got this engine running, I had to have the screw down too far to have it running, and it's crushed the spring. So we need to try and stretch it out somehow. Oh, Chris has got one. Top man. Do you remember the problem we had with the adjuster on my Crossflow engine a few years ago? Oh, yeah. Same thing. When you revved it, it would adjust itself.
Linkage, yeah, linkages were a pain in the like, they really are. See if that stays there.
Right, Right, so Chris is now playing with the exhaust cam, retarding it, which usually gives you a bit more power with an ST170 engine. He retarded it 3 degrees, which picked up a little bit. Then he retarded it 8 degrees and it lost a couple of horsepower. So now he's put it somewhere in between and we're now at 174 bhp. It's looking like there's not much more in it, but 174 is pretty good. Last pull picked up another 2 horsepower, 176. Quite a smoothish curve as well, which is good. Right, so that is all she's given us. 176 bhp at the flywheel. Apparently on this dyno, a Focus ST170 will make about 150, so to make 26 over that is not too bad. No, that'd be sweet. 150's fun in these cars, so...
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man. My beautiful girlfriend Kat has arrived with the McDonald's. Better late than never. Right, so back at home, and I'm just going to analyse the graph a little bit. Now, as you can see, the peak torque of ESTHER'S setup is only about 140 foot-pounds. And it achieves that at roughly 4,500 revs. And then the BHP obviously keeps pulling up to around 7,000 revs, where it reaches 176 BHP. If we compare that to the setup that's currently in Mord, which is obviously a 2-litre Z-Tech, not an ST170, and that's just running on a twin choke, it actually makes more torque than ESTHER does, but the torque peak is at like 4,000 revs, and then that starts to tail off and the BHP rises but finishes at 159.8 horsepower. So yeah, I was expecting more torque, to be honest, but I was expecting more BHP as well. I thought I'd get about 180 to 190. Now, they were both tuned on different rolling roads. They are both Dyno Dynamics rolling roads though, which are very honest. They don't overread. In any case, 176 horsepower in a much lighter shell, because ESTHER'S got loads of lightweight panels on the front end, is going to be a lot of fun. So obviously none of this really matters. It's all about how it drives on the road, and I'm sure it's going to be a bit of a beast. It's just very interesting how the twin choke does sort of make more torque, although it's lower down the rev range. And it just shows how suitable a twin choke Weber is for a stock 2-litre Z-Tech. What I will say is, with the twin choke, it is kind of maxed out, I reckon. Whereas with ESTHER'S setup, it's a lot more future-proof. You know, if I was to get a cylinder head built or put Lariat cams in it, you know, the Gem Vs will definitely make the most of that more, and then you'd see an increase in horsepower and torque. Now, it's worth noting that when ESTHER had 145 horsepower, when she was running a Pinto, she ran a 14.4 second quarter mile, which I haven't been able to beat with Mord's setup, even though it's got another 15 or so horsepower. And I'm hoping that this setup now with 176 horsepower will do a better time at Santa Pod. You know, we've got an extra 30 bhp. Who knows, maybe it'll be a slightly lower 14, but it would be nice to get into the 13s with ESTHER one day. But I reckon I might have to do some more mods to the engine to achieve that. But yeah, that is where she's at. 176 horsepower at the flywheel and around 140 foot-pounds of torque. Hello, right, it's been 2 days since ESTHER'S dyno session, and yesterday I put a post on my Facebook and my Instagram asking you guys to guess ESTHER'S flywheel horsepower figure. Now, as you know, she made 176 horsepower, and all those of you who were within 3 horsepower of the exact figure will be getting some free stickers. Before I get into that and announce the winners, I've got something to show you. What I've got here is the new Escort Mark 1 and Mark II parts catalogue from Motorsport Tools. Now, a guy called Steve Austin, who I actually met at the Chelsea Cruise a few months ago, got in touch and told me about this catalogue, so massive thanks to you. And yeah, it's definitely something that all you guys should think about ordering. Now, it's got obviously all the Escort parts that Motorsport Tools sell, including every single panel for a Mark 1 and Mark II Escort. And what's really interesting, if you go right to the back of the catalogue, is the brand new on the road Mark 1 and Mark II Escorts that Motorsport Tools, in partnership with a company called MST Cars, are going to be producing. So pretty soon we're going to see
Mark 1 and Mark 2 Escorts on the road with current registration plates. Like, how cool is that? We're going to see 20 plate and 21 plate Escorts on the road soon. Now, you can have them built to various different specs. You can have whatever colour you want. All of them come with 2.5 litre Duratec engines, so they're putting out 200 bhp, and yeah, they come with brand new engines, brand new Mazda 6-speed gearboxes, and yeah, they're going to be legal on the road. I'm assuming they're going to be just like, you know, when you get like a replica AC Cobra or one of the modern Caterham cars, you know, they have to go through the IVA tests, so they're road legal, and they're essentially going to be like a kit car. But yeah, I think it's amazing that there's going to be literally brand new Mark 1 and 2 Escorts on the road. Now, I did get in touch with them actually just to ask them how much they are, and they start from £69,000 plus VAT, and that's not for the rally spec one, so it's definitely something that I'm never going to be able to afford. And I did cheekily ask them if they'd be interested in having me come down to make a video, but they didn't actually reply to that part of my email. So another thing I asked them is, with their Mark IIs, are they using the Chinese shells that are already available? And they told me that they're actually making the Mark II shells and the Mark I shells here in the UK themselves. And I've actually been enjoying looking at the updates on the Motorsport Tools social media, showing the cars going through the build process, you know, attached to jigs and stuff. So if you're into all that sort of stuff, definitely check out their social media as well. Now, I will leave a link to the Motorsport Tools website and their social media in the description of this video. But with all that being said, let's get on to this competition. So everyone who guessed either 173, 174, 175, 176, 177, 178 or 179 bhp will be getting some free stickers. Now, all you winners are going to receive one new Maud sticker, one new Esther sticker, 2 old Esther stickers, and as always, with every 2 stickers you get from me, you get 1 smaller version of the old Esther stickers, so you're going to get those as well. There was a few of you who actually guessed the horsepower output exactly, and you guys are going to get the same again, so you're going to get all of these for free. As I mentioned in the post, it's a worldwide competition and all the postage will be paid for by myself. So congratulations if you did win. And here are the names of the winners. Now on Instagram, we have Carnival_Yellow_EG6, Chris Rigby 18, who got it spot on, 176. Ricky Crone 1, also got it spot on. Steve Billingham, Chris Dupree's Garage, my mate Nate, Mark2_Jim, and Dolly the Frenchie's World, who guessed 175. And on Facebook, David Law got it exactly right. Andy Robertson, Sydney Cruz, Simon Wassell, Passy Leto, and Ian Clark, who guessed 179. Now, if all the winners could please contact me, you know, via Facebook or Instagram, just drop a message to my inbox and let me know what your address is and I'll get the stickers sent out to you ASAP. For everyone else, if you didn't win, there's still plenty of stickers available if you want to purchase some. These new designs are £3.50 each. These old design Esther stickers are £2 each. And as always, any 2 stickers you buy, you get one of these smaller versions of the old Esther sticker absolutely free. Postage to anyone in the UK is absolutely free, and for worldwide shipping, it's just £1.50 extra. Just drop me a message via Facebook or Instagram or email, letting me know which stickers you want and how many you want, if you're in the UK, and let me know what your email address is, and I'll send you a PayPal invoice. Now, with all that being said, me and Kat are now going to take a trip over to Esther's garage, where I'm going to explain what's next for the car. Right, so with Esther now mapped, I can technically put her on the road. There is a couple of things I need to do first, one of which is to fit the harnesses for the seats, and I have actually got the eye bolts now that hold the harnesses in, so I could do that. She does need a steering wheel as well. This is just an old one I've had in my garage, which I've had to repair with Araldite. This used to be fitted to Maud and
basically the world's broke. So yeah, I need to get another steering wheel, and I also need to get myself an RX-8 gear knob. But yeah, it's only small things really before I can get her on the road. The problem is that now that the weather's getting bad, you know, winter's just round the corner, Christmas is just round the corner as well, and Maud's MOT is now due in about a month's time, so I need to think about that, and she needs a few things, and I've started ordering parts for that. Maud is also going in for some more welding in about a month's time as well. There is a couple of things that we noticed when she was on the dyno. Get my beautiful girlfriend Kat to hold the bonnet open for me. One of which is a coolant leak from the water rail. Now I'm not even sure what company made this water rail. It came with this engine, and I wasn't sure which thermostat it was supposed to have or which gasket it's supposed to use in between the two parts of the water rail, so I just made it work with some universal gaskets. But yeah, there is coolant coming out from between the two halves of the water rail. I've tried nipping up these Allen key bolts, but yeah, it still was dribbling coolant on the dyno. Now the water rail I'd like to fit to this car is a retro Ford one, but they're about 300 quid, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be ordering one of them just yet. I might just try and have another go at trying a different gasket to try and get this one to work for now. Also, on the subject of leaks, the sump is definitely leaking oil, but that was to be expected because Esther actually has the same sump fitted as Maud does, and we know how bad they are. But yeah, there's obviously loads of other things I want to do to the car. Cosmetically, I'd like another couple of bits of carbon, and I've actually been speaking to someone about that, so watch this space. And I definitely need to do something about this valve cover. I'm probably going to get it powder coated black, and I've already got the plastic cover for here and the one in the middle, which are probably going to be done Olympic blue. But again, that's stuff I can do in the future. So yeah, I could quite easily put Esther on the road pretty soon. Just get those couple of bits done so that I can get her MOT'd. But I think the sensible thing is going to be to leave her until next spring. But yeah, I'm really happy that she is now mapped, and it means that whenever I am ready, I can just put her straight on the road once I've got an MOT. Yeah, I do need to still look at the cold start map on this car. Chris sort of done it roughly, but as you can imagine, you can't really map the cold start unless the car is completely cold. But I've seen videos online how to do that. I think Sparkplug Steve actually made a video showing him sorting the cold start on his ST170 Focus that he used to have, which was also running an ME221 ECU like Esther is. So I should be able to do the cold start myself, but again, it's not something I'm worried about at the moment. One thing I forgot to mention actually is the exhaust. I don't like the way that it's sitting. I think I'm going to have to get Zach at Zoo Speed to add another bracket to the back box here, and then maybe just bolt it to the boot floor, because as you can see it's sitting, you know, kinked. Recently I did get the exhaust sitting a bit better than it was, but yeah, I think it needs another bracket on that back box just to make it sit nice and straight. And I think the front part of the back box section is actually leaning on the axle at the moment as well. While I'm here, I'll give you a quick update on John's latest purchase, which I showed you in a previous video. He's given it a clean and it already looks a million times better. He's also put these alloy wheels on it, and the other day I was helping him bleed the brakes. Unfortunately, John being John, he's always buying and selling cars, and the Prefect looks like it's already going, and he's swapping it for another Triumph, I think. But yeah, this Triumph, now that he's cleaned it, you can sort of see the rust spots a bit better, but there's not much that's that bad. I think this bit here is probably the worst of it, which is mainly just the wing, but there's a bit of rot in the seal as well. Now before I put Esther away, I think it's only right that we burn some rubber to celebrate her successful dyno session. One wheel peel. Definitely need to get Esther an LSD eventually as well. Right, so me and Kat are now heading up to Northampton to visit my parents. Hope you enjoyed seeing Esther finally get successfully mapped on the dyno. Massive thanks again to Chris Todd for doing such an epic job with the mapping. Massive thanks again to my friend Che for taking Esther there and back safely. And a massive thanks to Matt Thorne and the guys at Motorsport Electronics. Loads of exciting stuff coming up in the future with Esther. But for now, if you thought this video was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe if you're new and you want to keep up to date with all my future uploads, and check the links in the description to my social media and my email address. Those of you who want to support the channel by purchasing some stickers, details about that are also in the description. But other than that, until next time, from me and my beautiful girlfriend Kat, thanks for watching.